Hi, boys and girls. I am going to read you a story today, Outside. It's pretty nice out here. It's a little bit chilly today and a little windy, so I hope you can hear me okay. I'll try to read loud. I'm going to read to you one of my favorite stories. This is the story of Otis. It's by Lauren Long, and it's about a little tractor right here and a new friend that he makes, this little calf right here, and they go on kind of an adventure. And I'd like you to do something a little bit different today when we read this book. I want you to listen really closely to see if you can remember when we're done what happens in the story, because I want you to be able to retell the story, okay? I want you to be able to retell what happened in the beginning, who the characters are, where the setting is, and I want you to think about the problem and all of the things that happen in the middle of the story all the way to the end. Because when we're done, we're going to put those events in order, okay? So let's get started with Otis. Otis by Lauren Long. There was once a friendly little tractor. His name was Otis, and every day Otis and his farmer worked together taking care of the farm they called home. Otis liked to work. See a little farmer? And their farm right there is the setting. But after working hard all day, Otis was ready to unwind and play. I can connect to that. That reminds me of how I feel when I'm done working hard all day. He would ride the rolling hills and skirt Mud Pond down by the corn. He would leapfrog bales of hay and explode through the haystacks. On occasion, he would chase a rabbit or play Ring Around the Rosie with the ducks to the sound of his steady put, puff, puttity chuff. And sometimes, at the end of the day, he would just sit under the apple tree and watch the farm below. That's kind of nice. Every night, tired but happy, Otis would puff into the little stall in the barn. That was all his. One night, when Otis was fast asleep, the farmer brought a beautiful baby calf into the barn. The calf bawled and bawled for her mother. That means that she cried. That's sad. But when the sleepy sound of a soft put, puff, puttity chuff came from the next stall, the scared little calf stopped bawling and drifted off to sleep. From that day on, the calf started following the little tractor everywhere he went. Put, puff, puttity chuff. She followed him over the rolling hills and down by Mud Pond. She was right behind him, leapfrogging bales of hay. And the calf made their games of Ring Around the Rosie all the better. Aw. Sometimes, at the end of the day, the two of them would just sit together under the apple tree and watch the farm below. Otis loved his little calf, and the little calf loved Otis. Now that could be the end of the story. It makes for a nice little ending, but there's a little bit more excitement that goes on. We haven't really hit the problem yet. We've seen the characters and the setting. So as we get into this part of the story, start listening for the events in the order that they happen, okay? Then one day, the farmer surprised everyone with a brand new yellow tractor. "Time to move out, Otis," the farmer said. He took Otis out of the little stall in the barn that was all his and parked him back behind the barn. Then he backed the big yellow tractor into the stall next to the little calf. Oh, Otis doesn't look very happy about that. But the little calf didn't like the big yellow tractor. He had a deep rumbling snore that shook the stall where he slept. There was no one to purr the little calf gently to sleep, no one to spend her days with. And Otis could not even see his farm as the weeds began to cover his tires. His friend often sat with him, but she could not get him to play like in the old days. It was early summer when the farmer discovered a poster. "Who has the prettiest calf in the land? Judges will decide at the county fair and award a fancy blue ribbon to the winner." The farmer knew the answer. He would show the little calf at the county fair. But on the morning of the fair, the little calf was nowhere to be found. She had wandered down to Mud Pond by the cornfield to cool off. When she waded into the muddy water, her feet sank. With every step, she sank deeper and deeper and deeper. The little calf was stuck in Mud Pond. Have we found the problem here, boys and girls? I think we found it. How are they going to get her out of that pond? She's stuck. She must feel very scared. "Get the hands," the farmer shouted when he saw her. All the farm hands came running with their ropes, but the more they tugged, the more stuck the calf got. "Get the big yellow tractor," the farmer shouted. "He can save her." But the big tractor just scared the little calf. She sank in deeper and deeper. Nearby farmers began to gather. Oh, I have a friend. Hello, buddy. Mwah. "Then call Fire Chief Douglas and the fire truck," the farmer shouted. "They can save our little calf." But the sight of the big red fire truck startled the little calf in even deeper. The farmer was fit to be tied. That means that the farmer didn't know what to do. He was kind of in a panic. If the farm hands and the big tractor and even Fire Chief Douglas and his fire truck couldn't save the little calf, who could? Who indeed, I wonder? Oh, this is Benny. He wants to hear the story too. Suddenly, the little calf's ears perked up. Over the hum of the growing crowd, there came a faint sound in the distance, a soft, rhythmic purr, put, puff, puttity, chuff. The crowd turned and looked. The sound became louder, put, puff, puttity, chuff. And all at once, Otis put-puffed from around the barn. He turned and headed straight toward Mud Pond. Here he comes. See him way off there in the distance? He's coming to help his friend. Otis put-puffed down the rolling hill and pulled right up next to the muddy water's edge. The calf heard her friend's puttering purr and bawled. It was something like a hello. Then, to the sound of his gentle chuff and the amazement of all the people in the crowd, Otis slowly began to circle the pond. He circled, and he circled, and the little calf turned and turned, never taking her eyes off of her friend. See them going around in circles? With each ring Otis made around Mud Pond, the muddy grip loosened until the calf was able to stumble out of the pond on her own. The two friends had found each other again. Oh, and everybody's cheering. Otis led the calf right down the dusty road toward the village, and everyone threw flowers as they went, following them into town. It looked like a happy parade. No one needed a fancy blue ribbon to tell them that the calf was a special calf. Otis was a special tractor, and the two of them were special friends. From that day on, the farmer discovered that with Otis's puttering purr beside the chicken coop, his chickens laid more eggs. At milking time, with Otis's gentle chuff nearby, his cows produced more milk. On occasion, Otis even got to join the farmer and the big yellow tractor out in the fields. But often, at the end of the day, Otis would just sit with his friend under the apple tree and watch the farm below. The end. There he is. He's happy again. So boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this story of Otis. If you need help when you're retelling this story, if you can't remember what came next or you're not sure if they're in the right order, you can go back to the beginning of this video and you can either read it with me again, or you can pause it or fast forward it and try to find the different parts that you're looking for. But I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I do, and I will see you guys soon. Happy reading. Bye, friends.